Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Swashbuckler Rogue Sword Bard multiclass in Baldur's Gate 3's patch 8. There's a surprising bit of synergy here because the Swashbuckler actually uses charisma, much does the Bard. So we're going to be combining both of these. Now I think the Bard has a better start, so we're going to start with them, and we want to get it up to level 6 so that we get that extra attack, and we also get the awesome Vicious Mockery cantrip there. On top of all of this, I would also recommend taking either Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, or Friends. Friends is great outside of combat. Mage Hand's good because you can use it to throw bottles and stuff. Now, we also got Thunder Wave being a great spell, Healing Word, Long Strider's great to buff up your team with, and Dissonant Whisper to give disadvantage on attack rolls, so that can be quite good as well. Now, we want to go with a stat spread of something like 16 Dexterity, 14 Constitution, 10 Intelligence, Wisdom, and 16 Charisma. That just works best. Into level 2, we get ourselves a Jack of all trades, adding half proficiency bonus to any checks we're not proficient in, and Song of Rest for that extra short rest. We also get the choice of another spell here. Fairy Fire can be good to set up your team with, and even like Cure Wounds can be good if you want to use it for a heal, but healing's not the greatest thing in Baldur's Gate 3 when you can just do damage or shut down classes. Now, we're going to go with the College of Swords here over to College of Glamour. Our big ones here are going to be our Slashing Flourish with the melee attack. We can hit 2 targets, and with the ranged one here, we also got the ability to teleport, and we can also get one that gives us an increase to our armor class. Now, we're going to go between either fighting style dueling or 2-weapon fighting. Dueling's going to be better with the shield. I personally think that's probably the best choice, but we're going to do 2-weapon fighting because it's good. And on top of this, we also get to take a level 2 spell with Hold Person being extremely useful, and Cloud of Dagger is also quite nice because there's no check on the damage, so some people like to just take that. And for our skill proficiencies, I like to get Persuasion, especially if you're the face of the party. Now into level 4 here, we get another choice in cantrips, so Friends or Minor Illusion. And for the spell, Heat Metal is a good choice, Cloud of Daggers, and even Invisibility if you want to go a bit stealthier. This can actually work pretty well. And for our feat, we're going to take either an increase to our Dexterity or our Charisma here. I think Charisma for better scaling on our spells is just going to be a better choice here. Into level 5, we get ourselves a level 3 spell here. Plant Growth, great for crowd control without concentration. Glyph of Warding for extra damage. But I also think that Fear is great because this can give disadvantage on attack rolls and make targets drop their weapons, which we can then pick up. So that's quite nice. Now, once we get to our next level here, this is when it all comes together because we get our extra attack. So big power spike, we also get counter charm, but that extra attack is massive. So for this at next level, I'd recommend taking the Glyph of Warding or either Plant Growth, whichever one of these you find more useful in your kit. And at this point, we're going to add in the Rogue. So this will give us sneak attacks, which is nice, and we get to choose ability scores to become get us proficiency in. I like Sleight of Hand or Stealth. You can go Stealth because it will get that +9 for being able to hide out. Really, really useful. We get bonus action, Hide, Dash, and Disengage at level 2. And at level 3, we get to pick our subclass. And we're going to go with the Swashbuckler, which gives us the Fancy Footwork. So when we do an attack, we can run away without getting hit by opportunity attacks. And Rakish Audacity, given a +2 to initiative, and we don't need advantage to get our sneak attacks off. Big plus. Now, one more level gives us the Dirty Trick, Flick of the Wrist, which can allow us to disarm targets as a bonus action. We also get the Vicious Mockery here, giving disadvantage on the target's next attack roll, and also the Dirty Sand Toss. So you can throw some dirt in their eye with that. This will use your Charisma, and this one uses Dexterity for its attack roll and, or I guess ability check. And we also get to take another feat. I would recommend Dexterity at this point just for more armor class, survivability, initiative, and weapon attack rolls. However, you can go at maxing your Charisma. Now, we can follow up and go back to the Bard here and go all the way up to level 8 with this. What level 7 gives us is level 4 spells, but I think that there's one nice combination that we can do, and if you're going to do this combination, I would recommend not taking the Dexterity increase and actually putting that into our Charisma. There's also a hat that can kind of make up for that. So what we can also do is add in the Warlock. Now, what the Warlock brings to the table is Booming Blade. You also get Eldritch Blast, which gives us 3 beams, is nice scaling, and doesn't require any higher investment. But the Hexblade, this will give us both the Shield spell and the Wrathful Smite, and it allows us to use Charisma rolls for our attack rolls. And again, take your Charisma to 20 if that's the case, or again, Hag's Hair is another option you got. A lot of people like to use that. And we also get a Hexblade Curse bonus action. This will be applied at a 20% rate with the Hex weapon there. And this, we already have medium armor proficiency, but we get full weapon proficiency from this. So we previously did not have full martial weapon proficiency. I'd recommend taking Shield for sure. And then if there's any other spell that you like Hex can be a good one for adding extra damage to targets. Wrathful Smite is also quite good. You can frighten target, but it does use your bonus action, so it's probably best to go Hex and Shield there with the Hexblade. And we can take another level for the 2 Eldritch Invocations, but I think it's even better just to stick with the Bard to make it feel more like a Bard, and that gives us like greater invisibility or the Confusion spell. What's nice about Confusion is a group crowd control, so you can use that. And if you get the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, you can use either greater invisibility or Confusion as a bonus action ability. So with the following items, we got ourselves the Birthright Hat for the +2 to our Charisma. You can also go with the Helmet of Arcane Acuity, because this is also nice to stack up the Arcane Acuity charges with. We also got ourselves Cloak of Protection, the Armor of Agility spell, adding full dexterity modifier to our armor class, which gives us a nice 24 AC. Hellish Gloves will give us a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls. We can also use the Wondrous Gloves here, which will give us a +1 to our armor class and give us an additional Bardic Inspiration. A little glitch with this, you can keep unequipping and equipping it to give yourself more invasive shoes as well. I like the Dolor Amaris, but there's a lot of great weapons for this. Even going with the Trumps of Mischief, because we attack with advantage, we get additional 7 piercing damage, so that can be really good. The Blade of First Blood will also apply a weakness to vulnerability to piercing damage if you attack with it. That's another good choice. What we could also do is use instead of using this armor, we can use the Ballast armor, which will make targets take double piercing damage, and then we can use in our main hand, like Crimson Mischief, and then in the offhand, we can go with the Belm attack there that says give us a bonus action ability. We do have multiple bonus action attacks, like we got our Flick of the Wrist Dirty Trick there, which is a bonus action ability, so you don't have to use Belm in the offhand, but it works decently well too. You even use this in the offhand, which will give you the True Strike Riposte, which allows you to get a counterattack off. So those would be the best in slot. I'm just going to show them off, but Dolor Amaris is great. Best early game dagger you can possibly get as well. Even Mind Sundering Dagger is quite nice for the extra damage that you get. But big part of this is the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, which will let us do Confusion and many other spells like Hold Person as a bonus action. And if we get a 23 armor class with the Ring of Protection there. And I also like to use the Hellrider Longbow for that +3 to initiative. Now, when it comes to combat, we're mostly going to be a martial-based class, so we got Booming Blade per turn. So if you have haste applied to yourself, that's 2 Booming Blades per turn. We also got sneak attacks, which don't require advantage, so that's also quite nice. We can use our Rakish sneak attack on a target. We can also go with a ranged sneak attack on a target. Or what we can also do if we want to get things started is to stack up our Arcane Acuity by using an arrow of many targets. So the nice thing about this is it's going to hit multiple enemies, and what we can do with this is spread across a lot of damage, but also stack up max stacks of Arcane Acuity there like nothing. And then that gives us the ability to follow up with not only mobile flourishes, defensive flourishes if we want to increase our armor class or move around. We can also do a slashing flourish, which is kind of cool because we can attack 2 targets at once. So if there's any targets that are close to being taken out, we can attack them with using that, which is 2 more targets down. And then we also got another action-based attack, so we can follow up here with we can go ahead and do just a Booming Blade attack here. And yeah, we got that for action, so that didn't unfortunately take them out, but what we can do is just follow up with another attack. Make sure your dual wielding is off just so that you don't end up wasting your bonus action ability, because we want to be able to use that for our missed. We want to be able to use that for our either fear, hold person. We can get Dissonant Whispers off, a vicious mockery. You can get Hex off as a bonus action normally, or you can get Confusion, which is super useful. And we also have our other versions of the spells. I think the Confusion's best, so we're going to drop that right down here and get counterspelled. But hey, that was our one shot at it. We burned through our spell slot, but if you have free cast, you can do that again next turn. So when they line up like this, for us is perfect that we can do a slashing, piercing flourish, because we got piercing weapons, and the Ballast armor gives us the extra damage, so that's gonna, if it doesn't miss, you're gonna take out targets. And we can sometimes get lucky with doing it like this and hitting multiple targets, and it doesn't want to hit this one. So we also can use, we want to use Booming Blade often, just because it's going to be a powerful attack, and if they move again, then it can give that extra damage off. We were lucky to take them out in that single hit there, but I guess we'll go with a sneak attack here, because this is now by themselves, and hopefully that'll be enough to take them out. Perfect, 36 damage. And then to follow up, we got our bonus action ability, and we can use the true free cast if you got that available, which can give us Confusion, which I wanted to get off first. So now we got both of them confused. It's perfect, because then they can act weird and break concentrations. They'll oftentimes skip their turns as well, but we also got like the Flick of the Wrist, which you can use to disarm a target. And this uses our bonus action. You got to be mindful that with the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, it does give us an extra bonus action attack. And we can go ahead with a Booming Blade against this target. Since we got that from the Hexblade, it's such a nice ability to have. Now another thing we can do is we can go with a slashing flourish range, and we can actually attack the same target twice, so that's cool. Set a Fairy Fire and then follow up with a booming blade. I guess to finish it off, that'll probably be enough just to take them out. And there it is. That's a cool combination, the Swashbuckler Bard. It's a combination of Sword Bard and the Swashbuckler Rogue with a little bit of Hexblade, because everybody gets a Hexblade. So if you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.